Good morning and welcome to You Have Beauty Care Choices. I'm Jennifer Coy, the CEO, and this is
Jane Coy, her daughter.
Jane's back with us today. We've got a super exciting show for you guys. One that I'm really so excited for you to meet this woman. She is just a pillar of strength and has the best story. Her brand of cosmetics, it's Hynt Beauty. It's a brand that was introduced to me about 5 years ago, and we took some time to get to know this brand and the owners, and we've been selling it we brought it on again, I guess probably about 6 months to a year ago, and then kind of everything went crazy in the world, and we haven't had a lot of time to promote it or talk about it, but Jane's been using it for quite some time.
Yeah, I have so much of it.
She's a big fan. Show our close-up here, Allie. She's a big fan. This is her makeup regimen, or we'll show you later. Yay! So anyways, this is what we're going to be talking about when we get to meet Meryl and hear her story of why she created a clean beauty brand. It's a really different kind of brand because it's not a brand about making yourself look all done up. It's a brand super clean and with the goal of enhancing your natural beauty, which I think is going to be really popular with your generation.
Yeah, I think so too.
You wear makeup, but you're not overdone on makeup.
Just kind of natural, throw yourself together, run out the door kind of look.
So that's what we're going to put together today is your 6 biggest products you need to just kind of put yourself together and start maybe getting back into a routine because we've all been home for a while. So I'm really excited for you to meet Maren Marshall. Maren is the CEO of Hynt Beauty. Welcome, Maren.
Hi.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited about this. Wonderful.
Wonderful. So, Meryl, where are you coming from?
I'm located in Monmouth County, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
So, which is lovely here. Today is a beautiful day. It's sunny. It's about 80 degrees. It's really nice.
That's a great way to start off a weekend, right? A Friday. We've
Yes.
had pouring rain and finally today some more sunshine. So, very excited about that. How's New York doing right now? Are you guys opening back up at all? Are you seeing any kind of business come back to life?
It's a very slow process. I mean, honestly, for us, we've been very busy because we have a direct-to-consumer brand, and we work with a lovely e-commerce site like yourself. So many women just enjoy today to, explore buying brands online as opposed to going into a store. So I think for us it was, just a necessary type of transition.
Well, it has been a blessing during this time that you guys have had the ability to stay connected with your consumers. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I think I really enjoyed our talk yesterday, our conversation, learning a little bit more about you. And I think our consumers would really enjoy hearing what a strong, amazing survivor woman you are. Can you tell us a little bit about your story and the journey of Hynt Beauty coming to life?
Yes. So, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. I married in 1984. We had a son, and then we moved to New Jersey in 1996, and we were very happy. But unfortunately, I lost my husband on September 11th. And obviously that was, a very, very traumatic event to deal with. And,
How did you lose your husband on September 11th?
He was a fire safety director, and he was involved in the evacuation. He was actually basically in a totally different building than the towers that day. He was in building 4, and then, his job was he was actually trained to evacuate. So he went to the command center in building 1, which was the North Tower, and he continued to work on the evacuation just to get as many people out as possible. I did speak with him twice that morning, and begged him to come home to us, that we loved him and, we needed him. But he said, I'm trained to do this. I have to do what I'm trained to do, and it's just the right thing to stay there. So it was very tragic. He was a very, very special man, very dedicated husband and father. And almost 20 years later, he's still sorely missed.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Thank you so much to your family and to your hero for what he did for our country and the lives that he saved. But that's just one of your survival journeys. Then where did you head?
So several years later, after September 11th, I met a nice man online, a widower with 2 young boys. I had one. And so he was my first date and my only date. And as soon as we met, we made that connection. And we're together ever since. Tomorrow is actually our 16th wedding anniversary.
Happy anniversary!
So all grown. We married in 2004. The kids walked us down the aisle. It was very poignant because that wedding was as much for the kids as it was for my husband and I. It's never easy to blend a family. It was hard, but well worth it because we're very close today. But the bottom line is, we got through it. So after we got married, 6 months later, I was diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer. And those kids that already lost a parent, all 3 of them, you can imagine how devastating it was to all 3 of them to see their mother go through surgery and chemo and radiation, and I lost all my hair and the whole everything. And but those kids were very, very strong, very resilient. They still are.
You are a warrior, woman. You are such a champion and a warrior. Go! I am just proud to know you as a woman, as a business owner, as a mother. What a champion you are, and you can just hear in your voice that you put your children first and you put your family first, and
Absolutely.
It's not even about yourself. You are just such an incredible human being. What a story of survival, and so many of us take one blow and it knocks us out, You have just had this roller coaster of losing your husband, meeting the next phase in your life and getting a second chance, and then bam, another knockdown. Like, how have you survived this?
I don't know. I think that I have a few things. My parents were wonderful. They taught my brother and I how to be survivors and how to be strong and resilient. I went through a lot of things as a child, but we don't want to even go there right now.
Too long of a journey, huh?
But I think that, growing up with unconditional love from wonderful parents, and I have a brother, and we stuck together like glue. And so that was the foundation, and I taught my children to do that. And I know, I see them now. My oldest, he's 30 years old. He just got married. And I have another one. My middle son is engaged to be married, and my youngest son, and in fact, the middle son, he's a resident doctor at UCLA, so he's on the front lines.
I wanted to talk about all your kids actually and what they're doing, because now on top of everything and how cool you are, how cool your kids are. I mean, this is the story of Hynt Beauty and how it's come to life, and this blended family that created this out of their journey. So you've got one kid on the front lines at UCLA.
Yes, and he's engaged to be married. His fiancée, who we adore, Alana, Jared and Alana, she's a civil engineer, and obviously they live in California, and they're loving the life there. And they're a very special couple. My oldest son, Corbin, he got married to Allison on May 2nd. And because of the whole pandemic, they were able to get married outdoors with only 10 of us, with social distancing and masks and all of that.
A Zoom wedding, right?
Yes, a Zoom wedding, which was incredible. It was really an experience.
And look at how you respond to that. So many people just like focus on the negative. It was incredible.
Nope.
What an experience. You are such an incredible human being.
It was incredible. And my youngest son, actually, he graduated college and he worked for over a year in Manhattan in the finance realm. And he decided he wanted to go on an adventure, and he moved to Israel and he joined the army. And that's where he's living right now. He's still in the army. He has his service up till the end of this year. And he's having the adventure of a lifetime. And
Wow.
so seeing how my kids have been resilient, and they're really good people, that I know that's how I know that I did. My husband and I did a good job.
You all have done a wonderful job, and I think it is just a testament to the spirit you have, the survival warrior spirit, and your focus is in the right spot. You know, you can't always focus on the negative, because a lot of times life hands you things one after the other, and you have to focus. You have to choose how to get through, right?
Keep going.
And how, you just can't lay down and just let something take you over. You have to combat. We're only here for a short time, and you have to look at the positive. The glass is half full. I look at myself as an optimistic person, and if I am faced with something, difficult to deal with, I just find a solution and just try to look for wellness in life. And I think that's really where Hynt came, was out of the whole breast cancer journey of changing my lifestyle and, going to the gym and eating clean and eating more, vegetarian and, just enjoying nature, getting outdoors, breathing the fresh air, and making better choices in terms of what I put on my body, not just makeup, but also, body care, skin care. It's all a package deal, and I'm far from perfect. I'm always learning. I'm always asking questions. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a consumer like everybody else, and I think that's my approach to Hynt is, I want makeup that sometimes when I get dressed up and I want, more of a makeup look, I want that at my fingertips, and then, but on an everyday basis, I just like to look like a better version of myself.
Hynt is the foundation of Hynt is clean beauty. So the whole story that you've just heard about Meryl and the journey to coming up with Hynt Beauty, you can see the clean icons. This is why Jane is here. It is one of Jane's favorite brands. I think her generation, younger girls, are looking to just more enhance their beauty. Some of them go over the top with a lot of this stuff, but there is this natural beauty taste that's becoming more and more popular out there. And so I really see your brand, as people find out more and more about it, just soaring, Meryl, because you were ahead of your game. You did it for all the right reasons. And I think people make purchases now also based off of a good story and people willing to stand behind their R&D. You guys spend a lot of time on the research and development of this brand to make it performance-driven, but also clean and not compromising on the chemicals and stuff that your skin absorbs into your system. So the fact that it is cruelty-free, if it wasn't, this girl wouldn't be here. She's a vegan, she's cruelty-free, this brand speaks to her and all of her principles and how she lives her life. I mean, every morning she's gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegan. And amazing at her exercise routines every morning, up, keeping her body healthy. So I think you guys also have a lot in common, which is why I asked her to be here for the show. Plus, she's also found the first ever lipstick willing to wear that she's going to put on the show.
I'm going to put it on all the time.
Because she's never found a lipstick that she loves until Hynt. And I brought her home one, and it matches her lips, but gives you just this great finish. So I can't wait for everybody to see that later in the show. So let's get talking about, now we know the brand is clean, cruelty-free, PETA. What are all the other big no-no ingredients that you guys stand by?
Right. So this is the thing. And actually, we just became Leaping Bunny certified as well,
Hey!
which is a very, very big deal to me, because I know that a lot of the big brands, in order to sell in countries like China, they are tested on animals.
Right.
They use beagles because they have very large eyes. To me, it's atrocious and it's unnecessary. There are other testing methods. And if you avoid certain ingredients, there's no reason to test them on animals. They're tried and true ingredients. They're safe. I work with a very long blacklist of ingredients, of no-no ingredients, I call it, that is always evolving and always changing. I'm always fine-tuning. What I do is I go to some of the best formulators in the business, and I say, I show them a product, a conventional product, and I say, this is what I want, but we can't use any of these long list of ingredients, and let's get to it. And that's really how we formulate. And again, I'm not a makeup artist, but I look at the product as a consumer of what I want. It has to last all day. It has to look nice in natural daylight. I mean, just certain things that I, expect as a consumer.
Absolutely.
So that's really what we adhere to. And obviously, the ingredients, like we don't use your parabens and phenyloxyethanol, and, it's just such a long list of ingredients. And I just consider myself the gatekeeper. And what I'll do is, many ingredients sometimes have byproduct ingredients. They'll have their own preservative system. So I will, as we're formulating, I will call the manufacturer and say, I want the MSDS sheet. I want, safety data sheet. What other ingredients aren't you telling us about? So this is really how I approach the formulation of a product.
So as
gatekeep.
me as a retailer and choosing brands, what brands I want to represent, what brands I want to sell, I have these conversations with brand creators, and I feel confident that Meryl is doing her job, that she is out there doing her research for us, and so that way those of us who aren't in the business but just want to know we're buying safe products, meet Meryl. She's helping us get to our goals of finding a good cosmetic brand. So we're going to talk about like the top 6 ingredients. Many women haven't been wearing makeup these days. They're at home on their Zooms, but we are all talking about opening up, talking about getting back to our lives again. So we're going to show your top, kind of 5-6 products that is a super fast 5-minute face if you're just doing it in the mirror. It might take a little longer right now because we'll talk about them, but it is a fast 5-minute face. It's what Jane does.
Yeah,
Plus
I do it
now
every day.
lipstick. So let's start with the skin prep. Tell us about this product. I think this is always a good foundation to start with, right?
This is what I wear every day personally. I find it good for acneic skin, for mature skin like myself. It's really very gentle and it's very effective. So basically it's a 3-pronged type of product. It's a moisturizer, a primer, and an SPF of 25. I mean, really technically it's 27.25, but we chose to be conservative with a lower number. So, you have all of those. You don't have to use an additional moisturizer unless, of course, it's the winter time and you're a little bit drier than usual. But really, it's a one and done thing. You put that on, you let it set for a moment, and then you could put on, if you want, any type of liquid or powdered foundation. I mean, I always recommend to use our concealer, conceal exactly where you need, and then put a little powdered foundation, a little finishing powder, and boom, you're
Okay, so
ready
we'll
to
go
go.
from the skin prep. Now we're going to go to the concealer. I don't want to jump too far ahead because every product needs a little bit of attention here. The concealer is Jane's
My
favorite product.
favorite. I love it so much, and it works so well, and it lasts so long.
So
It's
Jane
fantastic.
has been using it since it came in the tube. And I got a tube, and it does, actually the container itself, the product itself lasts, it goes a long way.
Right.
She has her technique that she likes to use on her using her concealer, and she usually takes a small brush. Show them the brush that you're using. Oh, there you
It's
go.
just a little flat square brush. So I don't like dipping my fingers in to like spread bacteria or anything.
That's fine, and you don't have to worry about bacteria because this is a waterless product.
Oh, cool.
So the oils can turn, eventually. That's why, you would want to discard it after 12 months after opening. But really, it's very, very long lasting, and a little bit goes a very, very long way. What's great about this product is when it's applied to the skin, it looks like skin.
It does.
It doesn't have it's not too matte, it's not too shiny. It just really, really blends in. But if you want to explain your technique, and then I can always explain mine quickly.
Yeah, so I just use the little square brush, just any brush, and I just open the container, get a little on the brush, put it on any spot that I want.
Wherever you need it, exactly.
Yep, and then I take the Hynt sponge and I just blend it in, and it looks just like your skin, and it makes everything look flawless, and it's my
Fantastic.
favorite thing.
So
That's what you're wearing right now. She's already
Yeah.
applied this at home today. You use the sponge to blend, but you were saying, Meryl, that you like just using your fingers, right?
Right. So my favorite way is to take a little bit here, and you could take it over here.
Backwards.
Hand.
Backwards. There you go. Yeah.
Okay, and then from there, you could take a little bit on your hand, and then you just apply it. Dab, 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 and blend. Dab and blend. Dab and blend into all of that area, and it just brightens it up. And then if you want to set it with a little setting powder, many people, they use too much product. So you never have to swipe it. You have to just apply a tiny amount and blend until you get the effect that you want. You can always add another layer if you need a little bit more concealing. But that's really how I always recommend how to apply the product. Very simple, very easy. And you could wear it all over your face. You could wear it as a foundation if you want. You could even mix a little bit in with your sun prep. Pump a few pumps pump a few pumps of sun prep in your hand, add a little bit of the concealer, mix it up in your hand, and then apply it to that. It depending on how much concealer, it's either a tinted moisturizer or a foundation. So it's a very, very flexible type of product. It's very,
I love that, Meryl. That is so incredible. So I don't usually wear foundations, I wear foundations. I don't usually wear concealers because I do find that they kind of sit in your lines and can sometimes make you look older. And this is so different. It's so creamy and spreads so easy. Just really quick, I want to say hi to everybody joining us. Hi, Niles. Hi, Joe. Hi, Darren. Hi, Angela. Angelica. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Say hi. Tell us where you're coming from. If you have any questions, please let us know. We'd love to answer them for you. At the end of the show, Allie will let us know if you had anything come up. So, love that tip, Meryl, of taking the concealer with the skin prep, the two products. Can we see the skin prep again really quick? So these two products you can actually mix together to create your own, either a tinted moisturizer, kind of more of a sports effect, to get a tiny bit of coverage, but then you still have your SPF. Add a little bit more concealer to the skin prep, and you've got a foundation that also has built-in SPF of the 27, 25. What great tips. And so after we've got our face done to whatever concealed level we want, however much coverage we want, all layerable, blendable for full coverage if you need it, because these products are also used by celebrities, television and film, they're camera ready, correct?
Absolutely. We work with a lot of celebrity makeup artists. Some really, it goes on some incredible faces, and it's very gratifying when a makeup artist says, I please send me every single shade that you have. I need it for my kit.
Yeah, and you can see it's beautiful, camera ready. I mean, her face looks absolutely flawless with that concealer on. And it is anyhow because she's 17 and gorgeous, but so,
enjoy.
Exactly. After the concealer, the foundation, then where do you go with your makeup? With our quick 5-minute face. So quick powder if you have the sheen, right? Some people prefer a powder, some don't. Jane doesn't wear the powder, but we know that that is a big seller here at Beauty Care Choices. And this matte powder is such a great powder. Anything that makes it different than other pressed powders on the market?
Yes, absolutely. What we do is we use, you see, I get the question a lot, what's the difference between a loose powder and the pressed powder? So they're very different because when you press a powder, you need some type of binder. And many companies will use a silicone-based binder. Now, silicone is not dangerous whatsoever. I mean, maybe it's not so good for the environment, but definitely there's no harm to us. But the thing, what I find is, and there is a lot of controversy about that because people don't really agree with it, but I feel that any type of silicone really kind of congests the skin. So I stay away from all products with silicones, and we use organic jojoba oil to bind that powder. The powder is very, very soft, and it is very fragile. So we always recommend people to use it carefully. When you put it in your handbag, use the little velvet pouch that we provide, and just try not to throw it around a lot because it can crumble. Yeah. But with proper care, just knowing that you're wearing something very pure. And it's really that the jojoba oil is amazing, and it's really hydrating, so it doesn't dry you out. And what's great about this is we provide a very nice, very good quality sponge. You could apply it, you could wet that sponge a little bit if you want to use it that way, or just use the sponge. You could use a nice fluffy brush. You could use a puff if you want. But what's great about that is the packaging has like a little plastic cover on it, so it separates the sponge applicator from the actual powder itself. So it's a nice little way of keeping the powder very fresh and clean.
Your containers are very high scale. You have very, very upgraded packaging. I love that. I don't know if you can really see on the screen, but right around the powder is that clear tray. Or where you can see that the sponge can sit in above the powder. I'm not sure if you're seeing that, and then it has a great mirror too. So yes, very high-end packaging also with this brand, very classic studio-looking brand. It's pretty in the salon too, which we like as far as retail. I think a lot of people like good packaging. So I do want to see, after we go to the powders, let's go to our blush. And I was excited to see Jane put this blush on because I think it will bring some great little definition to her face. Now Allie's brought us up the graphics. On my side, over here by Jane and I, is the matte, and on your side is the shimmer. Do you want to talk about the differences of those, why Jane applies?
Yes. So the matte blushes are very popular with all ages, and this is probably what I mainly wear. I love them because they're not shimmery, and the best way to explain it is it's just a flush of color. There's no titanium dioxide, so there's no like sparkly, kind of look to it. It is matte, but it's far from chalky. It's not like that at all. It just really has nice dimension. Jane is wearing a Notoriously Nude, which a lot of younger ladies love. I adore the the apricot shade. It's my favorite. In fact, I like to use it in lieu of a nice bronzer because it really has this really rich, tannish type of apricot color. Whoever uses it, they adore it. But
your colors are very skin tone matching. I mean, if you look at Jane just with that little bit of cheek color, she looks like she might have just exercised a little bit, right? You just got that little energy and movement.
Mm-hmm. It just adds
it's
like
very
a little
natural
flush.
pink. Yes, yes. So, and then the radiance, I mean, I'll wear that more for evening. And the shades have a lot of dimension to them. They have high tone shades, low tone shades, and it really looks beautiful especially on the apples of the cheeks. So they're different formulas, different looks, but for daytime, my matte blushes are my go-to.
And then, so we did, after that, we do have you have some great eyeshadows and stuff, but if we were just going to talk about the 5-minute face this time, because we're trying to give a good overview of Hynt, just know there is a full line of eyeshadows and eyeliners, all that, but we are going to jump to just a quick natural mascara to finish off, which Jane used a little bit this morning, but actually, you don't have any on. She just has these gorgeous lashes. But so she's going to apply the mascara. Tell us about your mascara.
Our Nocturne Mascara is very popular. It's a great seller. Everybody loves it. It's very gentle. It doesn't smear. It doesn't flake. It's long-lasting, but very easy to wash off. So it's, in fact, one of the main ingredients is chamomile water. So it's rather than just using plain, distilled or purified water, we use something that's a little bit more forgiving. It's actually the only product that's not vegan in the line.
Okay.
Because it's very difficult to create a mascara without beeswax. But this is one of our best-selling products. It's lengthening, it's thickening, and again, looks very natural, but it gives you the volume that you really want for an everyday look.
So it's not vegan, but obviously still totally cruelty-free. Beeswax is completely obtainable without ever harming bees or any part of nature, correct?
Absolutely. We use, beeswax that's properly harvested. Every ingredient is looked at with attention to detail.
So isn't that beautiful? Give her a little close-up. Oh, look at those eyelashes! So pretty.
Too.
Yeah, I know, right? And so then we'd finish off this just beautiful 5-minute out the door look with the lipstick. Jane and I have the quick question of what's the flip top? That's so cute. It's got a mirror.
Yes, it has a little mirror, and the balm in there is the exact same formula as in the lipstick. It's just uncolored. Oh. So a lovely way of applying the lipstick is if you want to take the lipstick bullet and just kind of push it into your lips, and then if you want to add a little bit of the lip balm on top of that to kind of sheer it all out, it even looks more natural.
That's so cool.
Right. Or if you want to wear the balm by itself, or you want to apply it first as a primer and then put the lipstick on top, you could do that too.
I really have never seen this packaging ever. This is the first time. I don't know if other brands have it, and I've just been missing out on the boat, but I really think that is so nice, so cool, because it's just a dual product. You have a balm colorless if you're just on the go, and the lipstick all in one case. That's so great.
Yeah. I happen to love, when you're carrying a very, very small evening bag. Yeah. And there is not much room to put stuff in, so at least you have and it's not like you could really see your whole face, but for a quick, discreet application of lipstick, whether you're in the car or in the ladies' room, you just kind of slip it on, and it's very convenient. But that was one of my wish lists, was to have a lipstick with a tiny mirror. And
now,
I
just
like
to be super clear and transparent, is the far lipstick right under Jane, the red, is that one not vegan also? That
it is
red?
vegan.
It is
It is
vegan.
vegan. The difference is we call all of our lipsticks, and which we'll be adding some shades onto it as well. But so most of the lipsticks are the Aria Pure lipsticks, and the one red, which is a dupe of Max Ruby Woo. I don't have any problem saying that.
That's more natural.
Exactly. We used a tiny bit of red dye,
Okay.
which all the lipsticks and all of our products do not use FD&C dyes. We
Okay.
use a mixture of mica and iron oxides, which
That's
are
why they have such great
thicker.
skin tone colors, because they're actual minerals, right?
Exactly. So these are, beautifully colored, but we always want a true red lipstick, for those certain times that we want something that's really wow.
Because we just sometimes need to be wow. We want to be natural beauty, but every once in a while
You need
we
that
gotta have to
factor.
wow.
Yep.
Exactly. And actually that red is beautiful sheared out too. So
Yeah.
if the red is just too much for you, too much of a statement, that's okay. Just shear it out, and it's just a very happy look. I once, years ago in college, I had a professor. She wore what appeared to be no makeup, no eye makeup, but she always wore this red lipstick, and she had this dark hair, and it was just so fabulous. That always stayed with me for all of these years. So I guess that was kind of like in the back of my mind when we made that decision to put that into the line.
Yeah, Jane just did her senior pictures, and she's very, very natural, and it literally took all I could do of like, please just do one with a red lip. And
Yeah.
it's so it's just so editorial, and it's just gorgeous, but you just want that a little every once in a while to see yourself in that light.
Adds a special little something.
Little something,
Absolutely.
something.
Yeah, you know what? You have to experiment, and you have to have fun. If it's not the right look for you, abandon it and go on to the next thing.
But
But,
fun. That's so fun,
it's
right?
fun,
Just
be
sometimes we can just
creative.
play with our faces, our own canvas, and especially when we're stuck at home. Do makeup on your daughter and have your daughter do makeup on you. And
Fun quarantine activity.
if she's
Why
really
not?
young, it could be really fun. Just don't use your good makeup. So I know, okay, so that is our 5-minute face. How fast that is going out. We're just going to run through the products really fast. We're going to do the sun prep, and then we're going to do the concealer. You might want powder if you're drier, or you can just jump to the blush. And then we're going to do the mascara, finish off with a lipstick. You feel put together. You've got a little quick routine, and you're good for the day. It's gonna last throughout your day.
Absolutely. And it's important to note, I mean, for me, people always ask me, do you put on makeup every day? And I say, yes, absolutely. I get up in the morning, I shower, I get dressed. I like that semblance of routine, and it makes me feel better. I don't stay in my pajamas all day. I want to feel good about myself, and, I go to the ladies' room during the day. I look at myself. I want to feel good about myself. So whether it's somebody, coming to the door with social distancing, of course, or I'm on a lot of Zoom chats. You just want to feel put together and feel more confident about yourself. So just a little something, really makes you feel pulled together.
I did one Zoom chat. I've been working throughout all of this as you have, and so I haven't done a ton of Zooms. The kids obviously are on them every day with social learning. But I didn't wear makeup because I hadn't been wearing makeup. I've been just running as fast as I can, and I didn't have a lot of time. And it's so funny. I got so many calls afterwards. Are you okay? Are you feeling okay? You just don't look like yourself. You're normally so put together, And it's so interesting that we do consider makeup as it just does put us together. Otherwise, I sometimes either look sick or like I just woke up or like I'm not prepared for the day. And so I think in general it just makes you feel better,
I think, and what's very, very important, extremely important, is, especially during this time, is to get outdoors, walk, get fresh air. It's really good for the mind. It's good for the soul. Get your steps in. It's good for the lungs. It's really so important. But, people say to me, you're 61. How does your skin look so amazing? And the first thing I tell them, the first thing is I use an SPF product every single day, even if I'm indoors, because you're by a window, you're by, other light sources. Hyperpigmentation just doesn't look pretty as we get older. And so protect your skin. And once you try Sun Prep, there's just no going back. We are constantly selling out of that product. We're always on back order. We sell thousands and thousands of that product, and there's a reason. There's organic aloe in there. There's sesame seed oil. There's just such skin-loving ingredients in there. But you're also using a mineral-based, protection against the sun. Don't go outdoors without using, whether it's Sun Prep or anything else. Protect your skin, and I really, really want to drive that home to everybody. There's always some type of product out there to protect your skin. So, and don't forget, bring the product down to your neck and your décolleté, to the sides of your neck, all the way into your hairline. Make sure that you cover yourself, and then if you want to put makeup on top of that, fine. If not, wear at least that.
Well, you do look amazing. I will have to say something about those steps, getting your steps every day. I have a 90-year-old grandmother. She is faithful to 10,000 steps a day.
Oh my God!
Right?
On her phone.
At
That's
90
my
years old, if it's raining outside, she's getting those steps up and down her hallway. And
Fantastic.
I know, she looks amazing. I actually wish I had a picture. Maybe one day we'll get her on here when we're not all social distancing anymore. I had the hope to bring her on because she is such an inspiration of getting out there in the outdoors and doing your steps every day, and keeping your mind strong. So I know we have a cool vitamin C ester brightening serum maybe launching soon.
Yes, very, very soon. It's ready to go. Because of the pandemic, our skincare manufacturer has closed down. They work sometimes with a very small crew, but we haven't been able to get this in. Hopefully within the next few weeks, they'll get into the factory and they'll start filling the product. So that is definitely in the wings. Right now we're working on a new mascara. I'm very, very excited about this. Let's just say that it's a new formula, but it's also very special packaging.
Ooh, again, some more Meryl cool packaging. We like that.
You'll see when it happens. It's very innovative, and I'm super excited about that because to me, what's near and dear to my heart is the environment. So we're always trying to use less plastic whenever possible, and that's all I'm going to say right now.
So exciting.
So we have a little special. Anybody interested in trying Hynt? Meryl has put together these trial kits that we already have in stock, and they come in many different shades, so whatever your skin tone is. If you'd like to try an array of Hynt products, this is a good way to get it started. We also have a cosmetic sale of 15% off in stock items right now going on. If you'd like to find out more about Hynt Beauty, they are on Facebook at Hynt Beauty Official. They're on Instagram at Hynt Beauty, YouTube at Hynt Beauty, and Pinterest also. So lots of different ways to find out more about Hynt Beauty. And then, of course, always check Beauty Care Choices because we adore Maren Marshall here and her brand Hynt Beauty, and just the passion in which you're creating responsible, safe products for women and growing women. I think I get asked all the time, what brand did you start Jane on with makeup? I think Hynt Beauty is one, it's an easy to apply brand, it's a safe brand, and I really believe it's a brand that is really going to catch on with teenagers and young women that are just not into wearing a ton of makeup, but just want that put together, enhanced, natural beauty look. So we're excited to partner with you, Meryl, and so grateful to have Hynt Beauty at Beauty Care Choices.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Jennifer, for the exposure. And you're both so lovely. I really appreciate this so much, and you're a pleasure to work with. You're wonderful partners. So thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
sharing your story, Meryl, too. I really think people are going to hear you and want to support you as a warrior woman. So thank you for being on our show. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Okay, so you guys be safe, be well, and enjoy this lovely weekend that's ahead of us.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
get some sunshine and get your steps with your sun prep.
Absolutely. All righty, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
you.
being here, Meryl. Everyone, thank you. That's another show, another wrap on You Have Beauty Care Choices. If you want to find out more about the products that we carry, if you're one of these people that just likes to know who's making your products, how are they making your products, what's important to them, we like to know more about the brands that we put on our skin, because we know that our skin is the largest organ in our body, and it does absorb into our health. Everything about our body is all one and works together. So we like showing you new brands that we find that are cruelty-free and vegan and doing good things for our environment, conscious. So click that button if you want to find out about future shows. If you see a brand on Beauty Care Choices you'd like to know more about, please email us and get out and enjoy that sunshine. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.